my name's Grandad. Hello, welcome back to another thrilling episode of Making a Narrowboat with Nanny and Grandad.
Don't say that.
You can, I've just done it.
Door open. Door open.
A few days ago we got the roof completely sanded down and the final coat of primer applied, and today it's time to start putting the first layer of undercoat on. And while I'm on the roof, Hayley's painting the hatches. As I worked my way down the boat from the bow, each area before I painted it, I cleaned it all with I swept it all first, and then I cleaned it all with a tack cloth, just to remove any handprints or footprints or any bits of dust that were floating about at the time. We decided that the undercoat we were going to just apply with a roller and not tip it off with a brush. Our thinking behind it is eventually the roof is going to have the top coat on, and it's going to have most of the areas are going to have a anti-slip paint on, so it didn't have to be completely sort of glass smooth or whatever, ready for the top coat.
This undercoat is a darker blue than what we're having on the roof, but it's such a nice colour. We started to think whether we should change our minds and go for this colour on the roof, but we stuck to our guns and stuck to our original plans.
nearly finished now, and I've got to say it ain't too soon because I really do want to get off my knees. Using my orbital sander with 320 grit just to take any little nibs off the roof and give it a bit of a key for the top coat to go on. The edges are done by hand with the same grade paper. The next day I'll just give it a good clean down, ready for the top coat, and then start masking up along the edges of each handrail, because the actual line of the handrail is gonna, or the handrail is gonna actually be in a different colour to the roof. And once that was done, guess what? I'm back on my knees.
Eventually there'll be 3 coats of top coat put on. The anti-slip that we're using, we're going to go with the sand, like what we did in the engine bay. And so once we've got all our solar panels and everything, we'll mask out the roof and see where we want the sand. But at the moment, really, this was just to get a coat on to sort of last us over winter, because we're going to be cutting some holes in the roof for the stove and fixing the mushrooms down properly, and so making the holes for that, we just needed to get at least a coat on.
The 4-inch rollers that we're using were from a company called Access Decor. A guy in the boatyard, Colin, is a friend of ours. He recommended us to him, so he gave us a couple to try, and to be honest with you, they're absolutely fantastic.
Okay, so these are the paints. We're going with Symphony paints for all of the boat apart from the gunnel. So this was the undercoat we've just been using. Fortunately you can't see the label, but it's a mid-blue undercoat, and the top coat is the sky blue. Goes on lovely. And then the rest of the boat is going to have a white undercoat. Really nice paints to use. So obviously we don't know what they're going to be like, how long lasting they are, but and how well they stay fixed, but to actually put on is really nice. Dangerous Brian and his sidekick Loopy Loo are back.
Is it working?
Yeah.
Is it the medium one? Is that the big one? Mommy, can I get that one? Please, can I? Say Mum, Millie. Millie, get that one there. This one is too big. That's the same one. We just get one there. This one. No, that one. This one. Yeah, like that. This one. That's for that. Okay, which one is it? Yeah, let's get a drill. How do you need to be really careful with this?
Okay.
Now, Molly, how are you going to do that on? I do it. It's hanging down.
So while the paint was drying on the outside, or the weather was too bad to do another coat,
I had a little sleep.
yeah,
No.
we started to get to grips on finishing all the foil on the inside. We started here doing the ceiling, but then decided to leave the rest of the ceiling because we were just leaving areas for the solar panels to come through, but we're now just going to leave it all open until
Yeah, until we get
Yeah,
that
until we
sorted.
get it exactly right, because we keep changing our mind.
The
on
cladding
certain
that's
tiles.
going on the ceiling will be done last anyway,
this
right
bit'll
near
stay
the end
up.
of the build. All the walls and everything else will be finished, and we'll leave that all open just in case we need to put any more wires through, or
Yeah, if we've forgotten anything, missed anything, or
we
fine.
change our
Yeah,
mind,
could
or
be something in the wrong place, couldn't there?
yeah. So keeping the open space in the ceiling is best way for us.
Yeah. As with the rest of the boat, we're not overlapping the joints with the foil wrap. We're just putting the joints together and then taping them up, as you can see there. The reason being for that is when we actually come to put the cladding on the walls and ceiling, we don't want any sort of high spots, if you like, so it keeps all the levels right on the walls and the ceiling when we put the cladding on. You get that, Mill? And hold that for me, Mill, that side. Yeah, that's about it, I think. Down a little bit. That'll do, I think.
Got to go down a little bit, Millie.
Just go down a little bit more, babe. That's it.
Hold your hand there, Hassan.
That's it. Perfect. Have you got it for me?
Yeah.
Good girl. Righto. Shall we put one in that side now where you are?
Yeah.
About there. Want to push that with Grandad. Don't get your fingers there though. Keep your hand like that's it. Good girl. Grandad help you. Whoa! Has it got in?
Yeah.
Great.
No. Oh, the zombie. Oh, the zombie.
Good job. That's it. Just push it on so it's all stuck.
Once all the foil was put on around the windows, we then used the foam again, like we've done in the other rooms, and just went round and filled all the little gaps and everything
just to stop condensation running down those gaps. Once all the window trims are on and everything, it'll be fine. But this is just to stop any water running down and then getting behind that foil once it's sealed up. A lot of it will be trimmed back once the windows come out for the rest of the painting, and once they're put back in, we can seal it properly. So while Ada's been up on the roof getting all the undercoat and the top coat on there, I've been doing the same with all the doors and hatches. So that same process, sanding it all down, getting the undercoat on. We haven't put the top coat on these yet, but yeah, 3 coats of undercoat, and they were ready to go back on. The weather's been really good, so we decided to do the bow as well. This paint just went on so nice. This is the second coat you're seeing being put on here. So first coat is obviously looks a little bit patchy, where we've only put a thin coat on, but once you get the second and then the third coat on, it really covers it really well. For all you that have commented about Ada's tongue, I've left this bit in for you to enjoy.
Yeah.
Ada puts the doors back on, all the hatches back on. The dark bits you can see around the hinges, it's not rust, it's grease. We've just got lots of grease around those, and we clean it off as we paint. Well, the weather and skies have been really kind to us while we've been getting on with this painting, and it's been a pleasure just looking out in the evenings. And tonight it's been lovely. It's really clear skies, and just watching all the aeroplanes fly across today and just leaving a trail behind them. It's been lovely just sitting out here having a glass of wine.